tonight, 2 ministers resign in a shake-up for the Bligh government.
An important breakthrough for Brisbane's airport link tunnel.
Bar staff badly burnt in a chemical accident on the Gold Coast.
And Ipswich flood victims to star in the NRL's TV campaign.
This is 7 News with Rod Young and Kay McGrath.
Good evening. Ministers Robert Schluter and Desley Boyle have announced they'll quit the Bligh cabinet on Monday. They also revealed they'll quit politics altogether at the next election. Political reporter Patrick Condren is at Parliament House and he joins us now. Pat, were today's resignations a surprise at all?
Kay, they certainly were. Although with just over 12 months before the next poll is due, we should expect even more ministers and backbenchers to walk out the door. It certainly lets the Premier of the day claim to be renewing the team. The hot tip around the corridors of power this evening is that Everton's Murray Watt is a good chance of filling one of those vacant ministerial spots.
I'm sure you're on the money. Thank you, Patrick Condren, joining us from Parliament House.
It's feared at least one Australian is among 12 people who drowned when a Vietnamese tourist boat sank early today. The boat went down in Ha Long Bay near Hanoi, a popular destination known for its limestone formations. Local officials say the victims were from Australia, Britain, Europe and America, plus one local tour guide. At least 15 others were rescued. 2 are missing. Australian diplomats are urgently trying to identify the victims.
Shadow Immigration Minister Scott Morrison has been heckled over a report that he wanted to exploit anti-Muslim sentiment. Mr Morrison dismissed the claim as gossip, but the Prime Minister says if it's true, he should be sacked.
Scott Morrison has his tolerance tested.
You're so racist.
Brisbane's airport link tunnel has reached a significant and spectacular milestone. The giant boring machines that have been gouging through rock at up to 30 metres a day have hit the halfway mark.
2 Gold Coast bar staff have been badly burnt while trying to clear a blocked drain. Paramedics used a hose to spray water onto the male and female victims in an alleyway off Cavill Avenue. They'd been coated with a chemical powder. The pair both had severe burns to their faces, mouths and throats.
The caustic soda's reacted with any organic material, so the grease and the fat, and it's blown back and come up into their face.
Fire crews say the chemical was supposed to have been diluted before being used.
Qantas has posted a 4-fold increase in its first half-year profit to more than $240 million. It's an impressive comeback from one of the worst downturns in aviation history, and the engine explosion that cost the company $80 million.
Still ahead in 7 News, protesters take credit for stopping the Japanese whale hunt.
Car thieves hit the beach on the Gold Coast.
And the Queensland battlers who won $1 million home.
Back now with 7 News. A policeman has been sacked accused of taking alcohol into a dry Indigenous community in central Queensland. The police service says the senior sergeant also allowed another person to use restricted items from his utility belt. The 44-year-old could face criminal charges.
Gold Coast detectives are looking for car thieves who dumped 2 stolen vehicles on the shoreline at Broadbeach this morning. The cars were swamped by the high tide and filled with sand. Both vehicles had been badly damaged before they were abandoned.
Bit of a shame really, but makes you wonder about the people who do this for a bit of leisure and pleasure.
A 3rd stolen car was found in the same spot yesterday morning.
Libya's President Muammar Gaddafi is facing a day of rage as anti-government protests sweep across the Arab world. Dozens of people have already been injured in demonstrations that began there on Tuesday, demanding the release from jail of a human rights lawyer. Libya's military opened fire. Gaddafi has been in control of Libya since his uprising that overthrew the royal family 42 years ago. In Bahrain, riot police have attacked anti-government protesters who are demanding their king rewrite the constitution, allowing them to elect a prime minister. While in Iran, the government is warning there'll be no mercy for demonstrators.
Japan has cut short its annual whale hunt in the Antarctic, blaming Sea Shepherd activists for putting the safety of Japanese crew at risk. The activists hope it's a sign the killing is coming to an end.
Right from the beginning, we said that our objective was to sink the Japanese whaling fleet economically, to bankrupt them.
The Japanese ships still haven't left the Southern Ocean. Crew on the Sea Shepherd say they'll continue harassing them until they do, and the whaling missions are cancelled altogether.
Two Rockhampton battlers who won $1 million house say their dreams have come true. They're preparing to leave their Housing Commission flat for a prize home at Kingscliff.
Oh, well done. And plenty of footballers living the dream, Pat.
They are, Kay. Yes, hello everyone. The Roar for a start, and there's a young Bronco ready to step up. The Reds name a powerful squad for their season opener. And the Suns promise no excuses when their AFL life starts. While all eyes will be on Justin Hodges' return this weekend, another centre will be turning up the heat in Alice Springs. Already topping the pre-season charts, Jared Beale gets his shot at filling the void left by Israel Folau. Okay, is our sport.
Thanks for that, Patrick. Let's check finance now. And a stellar run has pushed the Australian stock market to a 10-month high, thanks to strong company results. The ASX 200 was up 8 points. Qantas led the charge. The airline's big profits sent shares up 13 cents. Property developer Lend-Lease gained 18, while Santos jumped 44 cents. Locally, a mixed bag. Bank of Queensland stocks rose 24 cents. Flight Centre shed 12. And the Aussie dollar is worth a little bit more than the greenback.
Weather is next, John. Will we see any sunshine over the weekend?
Well, it's looking okay, right? After a shower or two tomorrow, conditions should improve nicely for Saturday and Sunday. The details are next. Good evening. The Northern Territory can relax again. Cyclone Carlos has weakened to a low, but another system has developed. Cyclone Diane is now well off the Western Australian coast, and back in Queensland it's been another reasonably settled day, the usual passing showers here in the southeast, but we will see more sunshine from later tomorrow, and that'll continue as we get into the weekend. It's 25 degrees in Brisbane right now. Humidity is 68%. We continued with the isolated showers again, and some of the falls were heavy around Brisbane. Toowong, 32 millimetres, 19 in the city, 16 at Mitchelton, and about 1 or 2 around both the coasts. On the Gold Coast, it got to 29 degrees today. Same for Logan, 28 for Ipswich. It was 22 to 28 in the city, 29 for the Bayside suburbs, and 22 to 29 for the Sunshine Coast. Cyclone Carlos is now low. Diane has developed off Western Australia. Category 2 system about 400 k's off the coast, continuing to move in a southerly direction. But back in southeast Queensland, this high starts to get away from us, so the southeast winds will start to ease. So will the moisture. So tomorrow, a few morning showers as we get into the weekend. It'll be warm with probably a fair bit of sunshine around for you. Now, the capitals tomorrow, fine in Perth, rain easing in Adelaide. It'll be fine for Hobart, late rain for Melbourne, a shower or 2 in Canberra and Sydney, some rain easing for Darwin through the day. Northern centres, a few showers and possible storms for Cairns, Townsville and Mackay, maybe a storm for Mount Isa, and also down the coast, a possible storm for Rockhampton, just a shower or 2 further south from there. Mostly fine for Toowoomba tomorrow, just a little warmer too, up around 28 degrees. Now, Moreton Bay, northeast to southeast winds for the bay tomorrow, up to around 15 knots, 10 to 15 knots, with the seas at 0.7 of a metre, offshore 1.7. I've got a shower or 2 tomorrow, probably in the morning, light to moderate northeast to southeast winds, 22 to 30 for the city, and a shower or 2 for the coasts, up around 29 degrees. Mostly fine further west, just an afternoon shower possible in Ipswich with 31. It'll be 30 for Caboolture and Logan. Now ahead, we are going in for a pretty good-looking weekend with mostly fine days for Saturday and Sunday. There's just the chance of a shower, 32 and 33, and then showers and storms for Monday, but expect a warmer day, getting up to 34. And if you're heading for the water, don't forget, before you go, log on to coastwatch.com.au, and that is tonight's weather.
We certainly like the sound of that weekend forecast. Thanks, John. And that's 7 News for now.
Remember, if there's a story you think needs to be covered, head to yahoo7.com.au/Queensland and click on the news tips section. But for now, from all the team, have a very good night.
Good night.